Out of the stubborn genius of the world's most practical car company came a vehicle no one requested, but somehow everyone needed. The Honda Ridgeline, a truck born not from testosterone-soaked bravado, but from logic. And in America, of all places it worked. That's the real story here. A Uda, yes, like the ones that Australians and New Zealanders adore, succeeding in a country where youths usually go to die. Subaru Baja failed. Chevy Avalanche tried too hard. Ford Explorer Sport Track failed so hard it phased out of existence like a haunted NPC in a video game. But the Ridgeline, it held, it lasted, it resonated, it survived. Honda went back and made a second generation. And they're still making it. Why? Because no one feels threatened by Honda. Truck guys didn't get angry. Gearheads who never skipped chest day and only ever touched the lap pull-down machine didn't feel emasculated. Honda never claimed this was a rival to the Silverado or the F-150 or even the Tacoma. Honda never made a body-on-frame truck. There was no institutional memory to compare it to, no legacy to defend. Consumers weren't told to think this is a real truck. They were just told this is a Honda Pilot with a bed. And Americans, for once, accepted that. Oh, I like the Pilot, they said. This'll probably work. And it did. That was Honda's genius. They didn't try to rewrite the truck. They just repurposed a family car into something with utility. Marketing leaned into it. Look, we know you're not building fences or hauling cattle. You just want a bed you can hose out after a weekend trip to Home Depot. It was like the engineers and marketers of Honda had heard a message through a rift in time, like someone whispered, "Be humble," from BioShock Infinite's Columbia into early 2000s Tokyo. Honda understood something Detroit didn't. Not everyone who needs a truck wants to be a truck guy. This was the truck for people who had never bought a truck before. The "maybe I'll need one someday" people. The "my neighbor Steve has an F-150 I can borrow" people. And once they sat in the Ridgeline, it was like coming home. Familiar Honda interior. Simple column shifter. Big, logical buttons. Double-din head unit. No guesswork. You pressed a button, it worked. And under the hood, that glorious J-Series V6. Smooth, reliable, linear. It doesn't shout. It speaks. Confidently. It tells you, you're driving a Honda. You made the right decision. And it sounds good. Better than decent, even. Especially with a tune. It sings up to Redline like a jazz bar cat in heat. You can hear the VTEC kick in, bro. And while this isn't a manual, because if it were, I'd be losing it, there's a button that makes up for it. The Pass People button. Press it, and you get a surge that reminds you this isn't your dad's minivan. This doesn't scream like a VQ. You know, those things that sound like six-angle grinders fighting over a rebar sandwich when you throw aftermarket exhaust on them. No, this J-Series hums. It purrs. Like a serval cat giving you a greeting rub. It touches a part of your brain you didn't know was lonely. It's a tactile affection that's so rare, it makes your hug-deprived skin soak it up like sun through a window on a winter morning. And in that moment, your brain replays the last time someone hugged you. Not a perfunctory bro-pat hug. A real one. One that lingered. One that maybe, just maybe, meant more to you than it did to them. But that's okay. Because in your mind, you can stretch it, relive it, replay that alternate universe where that hug meant everything. Meant understanding, meant connection, meant love. But you'll never say it. That would make them uncomfortable. So you hold on to the memory until the next rare contact. 3 months, maybe more. And through all that, the Ridgeline keeps rolling. Quietly. Unassumingly. Truck bros hate it. It's not a real truck, they scoff. And maybe they're right. It's not body on frame. It maxes out at 5,000 pounds towing. Payload's only around 1,500. It's more Pilot and Acura MDX than Silverado or Titan. But that's the point. That's the magic. It isn't some hypermasculine, dually driving, coal rolling, "I forgot my daughter's birthday, but I remembered to deep fry my hand" machine. Nor is it a surrender to the suburbs CRV. The Ridgeline is what 90% of truck people actually need. It tows. It hauls. It has presence. But it doesn't scream. It doesn't need bumper stickers to make up for your personality. It's the official truck of, yes, I have a truck, but I also have a life. This particular Ridgeline? Tuned. Jason, the owner, upped it to 311 horsepower and 296 lb-ft of torque. Nice camo-dipped engine cover. 10 horsepower intake, maybe. No turbo, despite the sticker. Just naturally aspirated power. Bigger fuel. More spark. About 15 miles per gallon, which is roughly what a third-gen 4Runner gets. Jason's a Honda guy. Cross tour. Element. Respect. Got bored. Moved on. Landed on this Ridgeline for around $12,000, even though he was aiming for 10. Probably worth it, honestly. Mod list. Extensive. 3-inch lift. 2-inch subframe drop. Third cat deleted. Stainless catback exhaust. JPPDR. Engine management running on K-tuner. Front rotors and calipers swapped with Honda Pilot parts to fix braking issues. Stainless wheels for good looks. And pull me over limo tint. Not a fan, but hey, your truck, your canvas. The Ridgeline never tried to convince you it was a Silverado. The Chevy Avalanche did. Fold this, slide that, boom, it's a real truck. But everyone saw through it. Blow-molded plastic and wishful thinking. Honda never lied. They said, this is something else. The first-gen Ridgeline, known as the YK1, ran from 2006 to 2014. It was designed in the U.S. by Honda R&D Americas. Their message? Hey, we can herd cattle and skip traffic court too. But the look? Well, it looks like the guy in your office who's always liked, but once made your life hell growing up. Off-putting to truck guys. Too trucky for car people. It was the uncanny valley of utility. Bed walls angled, so laying materials flat is a nightmare. Not made for hauling 2X4S. Not made for conquering Moab. Made for the in-between. Their own press kit admitted. Honda customers weren't hardcore off-roaders. They'd rather use an ATV or dirt bike for fun. So Honda went with a fully automatic 4-wheel drive system instead of the usual part-time 4x4 setup. Medium off-road. Maximum sensibility. The Ridgeline is purpose-built. Narrowly focused. It can't do everything, but it does enough. And deep down, you know you don't need more truck than this. You know it. You just don't want to admit it. The Ridgeline forces you to be honest with yourself. And the sooner you are, the sooner your wife will stop being miserable. Underneath, Honda called it a segment-first closed-box unibody frame. Translation? It's just a strong unibody. That's all. A good one, yes, but still a unibody. The tailgate, though, beefy. Really heavy. Strong. Useful. You got a 5-foot composite bed, heavy-duty tie-downs, minimal wheel well intrusion. Good stuff. Real truck stuff. Sure, it's not flashy. Driving this feels like being in a sensory deprivation tank. Nothing screams. It just works. Cold. Efficient. Like something the Germans made after a conference with a therapist. And yet, top trims crept close to $40,000 back in the day. It's not cheap, but it works. It's for the kind of person whose bucket list trip is some island where you get shanked the minute you leave the resort. And honestly, driving it feels like driving any Honda SUV. You forget it's a truck. You just want to take it on a road trip. 3 friends, plenty of room, toss a bed cover on, and you're golden. Maybe if Honda ever merges with Nissan, they'll borrow from the Titan and build a body-on-frame truck. Maybe, but why mess with a good thing? The Ridgeline's strength is in how unpretentious it is. Some trucks are for good OL boys. Some are for cosplay cowboys. The Ridgeline? It's for people who need a truck, not a persona. Honda Ridgeline. The truck for people who don't need to prove they own a truck.